So for anybody I haven't met before, my name's Denise and I'm the Pilates and yoga teacher that's going to take you through a little Pilates workshop today, which I've targeted especially towards spa professionals, how to look after your body to improve your core strength and to improve your mobility. So to begin with, we're going to start off standing well. So if you can create a good standing posture, just stand with your feet underneath the line of your hips and your pelvis tucked underneath, and we call that neutral position. So if you're standing all day long, or if you're sitting badly all day long, then your back and your shoulders will get really tense and sore. So if you can work on a good sitting and standing posture, then that'll make a massive difference to how your body feels at the end of your shift. So tailbone tucked, engage the tummy muscles, pull in navel to the spine, and just take a couple of nice deep steady breaths that go in through your nose and out through the mouth. So breathing in through the nose, right down in through the diaphragm muscle right here at the bottom of your rib cage. Feel your rib cage expand and fill as you inhale. And as you exhale, the body performs like a corset action where the deep core muscles draw the rib cage in. Just do a couple of breaths just to bring our focus to our movement. And then just drop your hands down to the sides of the body, and we're going to just start with some neck mobilization work this morning. So to begin with, all you're going to do is stand really tall, and then if you can just rotate your head round towards the left side, just as far as comfortably can, and back to center, and then gently round to the right side and back to center. And we're just going to do that just a few times. So remember, the focus here is just to mobilize your neck. Just gently taking the head one side and then to the other side. Just gently mobilizing your neck. Okay, and then we come back to the center. And then all we're going to work on here is just nodding the chin down to the chest as far as you comfortably can. And then back up, nodding the chin down to the chest and coming back up. And if you just do that just a few times, just nodding the head, and again, any sort of tension in your neck, start to work through that. Bring your neck back up into alignment, and if you can tilt your right ear all the way over towards that right shoulder, and then with the left hand pressed down towards the floor. Now the muscles you're going to feel stretching out here will be through the left side of your neck. So press down through the left hand, right ear drops towards the shoulder, and you're just going to feel that stretch through the side of your neck. Okay, and if you take your right hand up and place the right hand onto the side of your head, and you don't want to pull, but you want to just encourage your right ear to move over towards the right shoulder, and you'll start to feel that releasing through your neck. So again, if you've been standing all day with your shoulders up round your ears, if you've been quite tense or anxious, and you're going to really feel this as a deep stretch. Perhaps it does feel deep for you, and for someone else it's just a gentle release. So just taking it to where it feels right, and then releasing back to neutral stance, and then drop your left ear over towards the left shoulder. And again, where you feel the stretch is through the side of the neck on the right side. It's important that you don't try to lift the shoulder towards the ear. You try to keep the shoulder down, and if you press away through the right palm, and you can just encourage that ear to come over towards the shoulder. And again, just apply an appropriate pressure. You're not pulling too hard on your neck. Well done. And then just gently and slowly you can release. Well done. So next we're going to look at our wrists and hands. Now if you interlace your fingers, and all we're going to do is just a little bit of wrist mobility. So we've clasped our hands and we're just circling the wrist, And again, if you're spending a lot of time operating a computer or a mouse, or if you're massaging or working with your hands a lot, your hands, like any other muscle, just change direction. Will start to get overuse, and you start to see issues with people who do a lot of massage or a lot of desk work, things like carpal tunnel syndrome, which can be avoided by some of these simple movements. So release. Let's make 2 fists, strong fists, and then just going to go open and close, open and close. So again, you're just working the muscles in the hands, making sure you're keeping your hands mobile, your wrists mobile. Done. Let's just do 2 or 3 more. And release. Now release and drop the hands down to the sides of the body, and we're going to mobilize the whole of the spine. So we're going to start with a roll down. Roll down starts in a neutral stance. Chest is lifted, tailbone is tucked. As you inhale, just slowly release your neck, chin drops to the chest, and then slowly curve your upper body forward and downwards to hang towards the floor. Just hang here in space, and then slowly tilt the pelvis underneath your body and start to uncurl your spine. So we do this movement just to warm up the back of the body. Chin to chest. Exhale, release forward into hang, nice and loose. And then pressing through your feet as you slowly uncurl all the way to the top of the pose. We're just looking to loosen off your neck, your shoulders and your back some more. So again, first thing in the morning, if you get up and your back feels a little bit tight and sore, this is a brilliant way just to sort of warm up and loosen everything off. So I ask you just to do one more. We call this the roll down. We're just going to do one more roll down. And this time we're going to stay down here. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to stretch out hamstrings, and we're going to also stretch out the wrists some more. So turn the palms and then stand on your palms. So your big toes are touching your wrists. Now, if you've got a really tight back or really tight hamstrings, perhaps this morning you're just going to stand on the fingertips, but then with proper weeks of practice, you'll be able to get your hands right underneath your feet. So backs of the hands on the mat, big toes touching the wrists if you can. Your knees are soft, relax your neck. Eyes are looking through the gap between your calf muscles. So again, we're going to work on stretching out the back of the body. Press through your feet. Lift your sitting bones and stretch out the hamstrings. Relax your face, your jaw, your neck. The feeling is loose through the body, inhaling and exhaling. So this gorilla stretch is stretching out the hamstring muscles, which plays an important part on making sure that your back doesn't get sore and tired at the end of the day. So good mobility in the hamstrings. Stop your lower back being sore at the end of the day. Relax your neck, your shoulders, and then just release. As you release, can you uncurl your spine to come all the way to the top of the pose? Well done. And then we're going to come down onto all fours. And the next movement I'm going to show you again is back here. The next movement is a cat stretch. So we begin in all fours with our tummy drawn in and our wrists below shoulders. And all we're going to do is focus to the very last bone in your spine, your tailbone. And as you inhale, I want you to tuck your tailbone. And as you exhale now, really draw your belly in towards the spine, making a big arch with your spine. So like an angry cat, chin is tucked in here. And then as you inhale, lead with the tailbone and bring the spine back into neutral alignment. So this is your cat stretch, and this is a really great movement for you to do if you've got a tight back, if you've got a sore back, or even just to prevent your back becoming tight or sore. So prevention is always better than the cure. So you can just tuck your tailbone, pull into your belly, lift and arch your spine, cat stretch, and release from that pose. So lovely. So we've learned to do some spine mobilizations, and now we're going to work a little bit more on some strength moves. So the first move we're going to do is a spine extension. So what you're going to do now is come down onto your belly, and I'd like to also use the spine extension as a chance to stretch your chest and your shoulders. So I'd like you to take your hands round the back of the body, interlace your fingers into a little basket, and then try to squeeze your shoulder blades together towards your spine. Tops of the feet will stay down, eyes are looking into the floor, and as you inhale, you lift the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then as you exhale, you can come back down. So this is a spine extension, and the spine extension is going to build strength in your core, strength in your back. It's also going to stretch out the front of your body so that you don't get round shoulders And if you spend time at a desk, you can get quite a sort of round-shouldered posture. So I want you to make sure you're squeezing the shoulder blades, not getting that round-shouldered posture. A really good posture helps to prevent lots of little niggles and injuries in your body. That's your spine extension for back strength and mobility. Push yourself back and just do a little counter pose, a child's pose. Push your hips towards your heels. And this is just a nice relaxation posture. So top of the head, forehead to the floor if you can. And send your hips back towards your heels. Releasing the back of the body. Inhaling. And exhaling. And the next posture I'm going to show you is the plank pose. So the plank pose is a chance for you to train your core to be strong. If you've got a strong core, then you're less likely to stand badly, and you're less likely to get lots of little niggly injuries. So to begin with, come down onto your tummy, and then place your elbows underneath the line of your shoulders. Elbows underneath the line of your shoulders. Your chest is lifted, and important that you keep your neck straight and your shoulders down. I want you to pull in through your stomach muscle. So draw your navel to your spine, inhale. Then as you exhale, really slowly just lift your abdomen away from the mat. And now what we're coming into is a half plank position. So I made like a little bridge with your body, forearms and elbows on the mat, knees on the floor, a long straight spine. You think of your spine begins at the back of the skull, and it runs right down to the tailbone. As you hold this plank pose, if you can pull in through your center, pull into your navel, you're going to feel stronger in the pose. Now you can build up to this, you can stay on the knees, or you can lift your knees up and balance here on your toes. So again, you can work at your own level in all these postures. You don't need to go onto the toes at all. You can stay on the knees. And the longer you hold it, obviously the more challenge there will be in your stomach muscles. You want to make sure your tummy's doing the work and not your back. So keep your tailbone tucked, pulling in. Hold your position. Don't hold your breath. Really important you don't hold your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then just gently pushing back into that child pose. Well done. Hips back. Child's pose. Stretch out the back of the body. And then coming round and onto your back. So get you to change position so that you're lying onto your back. And the next exercise I'm going to show you, again, is a great one for a tight lower back. So again, if you're standing all day long, your back muscles feel really tight at the end of your shift. This is a nice one for you to do just to get everything moving again. So hands to the floor. Come onto your tips of your toes. Back of the head is down and shoulders is down. And as you inhale, take your knees far towards the right side as you can. And then make sure that you're just keeping your shoulders down, your chest open. And then exhale, bring the knees back to center. And then inhale, take the knees all the way over to the opposite side. And where you feel that stretch is through the side and the lower back area. So we're getting a stretch out to those muscles. And you can hold it for as long as you want to. Or we can just flow from one side to the other. So inhale to take the knees over. Again, you can hold it there for a breath or two. Exhale to come center. Inhale to go over. So that's our hip twist. So again, I'm showing you these in a sort of workshop format, and then we're going to put them together into a little sequence. Well done. Okay, pull your knees into your chest. Massage your spine for me, a little bit of rocking and rolling. And then we're going to work a little bit more on our core strength. So working on the strength in your abdominals in particular on this move. We're going to press your lower back into the floor. So if you've got a tight lower back, your tendency will be that you'll arch your back. So make sure now that there's no gap between the back of the body and the floor. Pressing down through the lumbar curve, down to the lower back. We take our knees into a tabletop pose. So knees come up, knees hover the hips. Make sure your abdomen is drawn in to support and stabilize. Inhale, take your fingertips to the sky. So this is your start position. And the exercise is called a dead bug. What I'd like you to do is make small movements to begin. Stretch an opposite arm and leg away as you inhale. And then as you exhale, back to center. Opposite arm and leg. And back to center. So we're just going to alternate. Opposite arm and leg, stretching out. And exhale, coming back. And the challenge here is about keeping your back down on the mat, maintaining that imprint in your spine, not arching away. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, bring it back, inhale, lengthen, exhale, bring it back. And as you get stronger, you can start to increase your range of movement, making it a bigger stretch. But to start off with, keep your movement small and controlled. This is dead bug. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, return. Lovely. Bend your knees. Bring your knees into your chest, into your belly. Massage your spine, rocking and rolling. And done. And then if you take your knees again to the tabletop pose, and this time press down through the lower back, fingertips to temples. We're going to do crisscross. So tuck your chin, roll the head, roll the shoulders, and hold the pose. Tighten your tummy muscles. Scoot out your right leg, stretch your right leg long, and twist your right shoulder towards your left knee. So criss, cross, criss, cross. So you're folding yourself opposite elbow and shoulder towards the bent knee. Now this shouldn't feel as though your body is bouncing up and down. You should feel nice and stabilized through your lower back. And again, you can start off with a small movement and you can stretch it out as you get stronger. Okay, so just a couple more to practice, and then knees into the belly. Massage your spine and drop the soles of your feet down onto the floor. Well done. So bring the soles of the feet down onto the floor, and then lift your right ankle and rest it on your left thigh. So right ankle on the left thigh. This is a stretch for the glutes. So the glutes and the lower back all connected. So if you stretch out tightness in your glutes and in your hips, then it releases any sort of lower back pain. So right ankle resting on the left thigh. Take the left leg into the sky. Right hand goes through the center. The left hand goes round the back. So what I'd like you to do is hold on to the left hamstring, left thigh, and then pull. As you pull, where you're going to feel the stretch is through this right side, back up and side. Pull. Head and shoulders down, keep pulling. Get that stretching sensation. Done. Keep pulling, stretching. Where you can use the arms to really pull to create a better stretch. And some people will keep your leg and the hamstring stretch, the leg up here. But if you want a little bit more, so again, progression, you can hold the shin bone and then pull in from there. But you have to keep pulling on the legs to be able to encourage that stretch. Just hold it for a second or two more and then release. Feet to the floor. And then left ankle is going to rest on that right side. And again, engage the belly. Lift the right leg to hamstring stretch. Left hand through the gap, right hand round the back, and then pull. Again, you're pulling with your arm strength so that you create that stretch through the outer hip, the outer side, the buttock. Keep pulling. Keep breathing. It's really important that we're not holding our breath as we pull here. Inhaling and exhaling, pulling and stretching. And again, you can switch the grip. So again, it's a progression. If it's hard enough, stay as you are. Feel that stretch through the glutes, through the hips. Pulling, breathing, and releasing. Well done. Release the feet to the floor, and then hug your knees in and just rock and roll yourself up to seated. Well done. Come to a seated position. So if you're happy cross-legged, sit cross-legged here. If this is not comfortable, if you've got a tight back or tight hips, then sit straddle or any other comfortable pose. And then what I'd like you to do is get really tall through your spine. Take your right hand to the floor. The left hand's going to stretch up. I'm going to work into a little side stretch here. So place your right palm down on the floor, bend your right elbow, and stretch up and over. So into a side stretch here. Well done. And then as you inhale, right arm comes up, left hand to the floor, into a side bend. And we're just going to flow now with the breath. So as you inhale, tip the arm up. As you exhale, flex the spine over. And then just really make sure that we're not lifting our hips so that we get the maximum stretch through the waist and through the sides of our body. Well done. So this is just a little side stretch. And we come back to center. And we're going to just do a little bit more work on neck and shoulders. So neck and shoulders, really important that we keep these nice and loose and mobile. We don't get round shouldered. We don't pick up wrist and shoulder injuries. So if we take our right hand to the sky, drop the right hand down the back of the body, and then the left arm is going to push. And what you're going to feel stretching will be through the back of your arm and through your shoulder blade area. You're going to just hold that position. So this is your shoulder stretch, and it's a nice stretch to do, making sure that your upper body doesn't get super tight and overworked. Making sure your neck doesn't feel sore, and these muscles nice and mobilized. Just pulling to where feels good for you, for your body. And then as an option, we can take it to a tricep stretch by taking your hand up and interlacing your fingers here, if you want to, if that feels good, if you can manage. Now, if you can't manage to get your fingertips to link around the back of your body here, it doesn't matter. Stay here. And again, as your shoulders become more mobilized, that's something to work towards. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you can't get it this morning. You can do it another time. Release. Okay, let's take the opposite arm up into shoulder stretch. The left arm to the sky. Drop the left arm down between the shoulder blades and then push over and across. So you get that feeling of stretch through the tricep muscle, back of the arm, through the shoulder. Applying the pressure and the push from the right arm so you can feel the stretch. And again, if you want to, you can take it round and interlace the fingers around the back of your body. Or you can just stay here, alright? So you notice little things about your own body. Perhaps one side you can bring the hands together and then the other side you're nowhere near. So just noticing little things, you can start to correct imbalances. Keep pushing into that stretch and release. Roll your shoulders all the way around. Okay, now we've learned all the exercises. I'm just going to put them into a little flow for you that you can use as part of your daily routine.